You've probably heard that you're the scriptwriter of your reality, but sometimes it feels like you can't control what happens. If you've ever felt like you're stuck in a bad movie on repeat, with the same predictable plot and a lousy ending, it's time to rewrite the script. We've all felt like reality is out of our control, with days blurring by and no sense of direction in our lives. But guess what? You're not stuck in some pre-written story. You are the director, the producer, the whole studio. Here's the catch. Knowing you have the power to control your reality is one thing, but actually doing it can be a whole other story. In this video, you'll discover how to turn your life into the blockbuster you deserve. We'll show you exactly how to shift the scenes, rewrite the ending, and ensure the only plot twists are the good kind. Ready to take control of the director's chair? Keep watching to find out how. Let's start by smashing a big myth. You're not just a physical being. If you think you're just your body, it's no wonder you feel like you can't change your reality. But here's the truth. You're way more than that. You're made up of 3 parts: physical, mental, and spiritual. You know the physical part well. It's your body, your senses, how you touch, see, smell, and interact with the world. But there's more to you. There's your mental side, where all your thoughts and imaginations live, everything that happens in your mind. And then there's your spiritual side, your deeper connection, maybe even to something divine, or just the real deep you. It's your emotions in motion, the energy that's part of everything. Why does this matter? Because your spiritual and mental sides are way bigger parts of you than the physical. The physical part is just a tiny blip, about 0.1% of what's out there. The rest, the big 99.9%, is your inner world, the mental and spiritual. Understanding this is key because it shows just how much control you really have. But how do you start changing your reality? You've got to tap into parts of yourself that have been asleep. You might not have even known they were there, just waiting. You've been all about the physical world, trying to change things you can touch and see. But what if the real game is played on a different field, the spiritual and mental planes? The physical stuff we deal with every day is just the tip of the iceberg. What really shapes our world is the huge unseen part, the spiritual and mental realms. These aren't just ideas. They're the powerful forces that form the foundation of everything physical. Once you get this, everything changes. The world doesn't just respond to what happens physically. It responds even more to what happens in these other realms. Take cause and effect. You've heard of it, right? But as we just mentioned, it's not just about what happens physically. The real action is happening on the spiritual and mental levels. By focusing on cause and effect in these deeper realms, you can change your life fast. It's like finding out you've been playing in a puddle when there's an ocean out there to explore. Now that you know your physical life is just a small slice of the bigger picture, you can start making some real moves. Let's dive in and see how deep this goes. Imagine a scale with thoughts and spirit at the top and everything you can touch, like your coffee mug or car, at the bottom. And the interesting part is that the stuff at the top, the thoughts and feelings you have, shapes what happens at the bottom. What you think literally helps create what you see and experience every day. Think of it like this. The higher you go on this scale, you're in the zone of your mind and spirit. This is where everything kicks off. The lower you go, things get more physical, more real, like turning thoughts into things. Here's a little secret. Most of what really makes up our world isn't the stuff we can touch, but the thoughts and vibrations we put out. So when you focus on pumping out good thoughts and intentionally shaping your mindset, you're not just daydreaming. You're building your reality. This is how you start to tweak and twist the world around you. For instance, if you're aiming for a better job, a good relationship, or just more smiles in your day, it all starts with your mindset and spirit. Set those right and watch how the outside world begins to match up. Don't think of this as magic. It's about understanding that the big changes you see around you come from the changes you make inside. So next time you think about making things happen, remember it's not just about what you do, it's also about what you think and feel. You can use that knowledge to your advantage, shaping your world from the inside out. This ties into why you often hear sayings like, "You get what you think about most of the time." But what's happening when you think a lot about something? You're focusing your energy and attention on it, making it active in your mental and seat.
This ties into why you often hear sayings like, "You get what you think about most of the time." But what's happening when you think a lot about something? You're focusing your energy and attention on it, making it active in your mental and spiritual world. By doing that, you're pretty much setting the stage for those thoughts to take shape in the real world. Yes, you can think and even feel your way into changing your reality. Let's put it another way. You get what you think and feel most of the time. Thoughts and feelings are two sides of the same coin. Usually, if you're feeling down, your thoughts are down in the dumps too. But if you're upbeat, your thoughts tend to be too. It's all connected. But remember, the action isn't just happening where you can see it. Most of what shows up in your life starts off invisible, in your thoughts and emotions. These are the real game changers. Understanding that our world is more about the unseen thoughts and feelings and not just the tangible stuff is powerful. It means that by aligning your mental and spiritual game, you're shaping the physical world. Moving on, let's talk a bit about quantum physics. It's a fancy term, right? Well, it's actually about how everything in the universe works together, like a giant puzzle. Imagine every choice you have is a puzzle piece. You pick one, and boom, you've changed your piece of the world. It's you using your mind's power. Think about it. You're not just made by the stuff around you or what happened when you were a kid. You can change things around you, shake things up, and build a whole new future. It's like having a superpower once you figure out how to use it. Now picture two worlds overlapping. One is invisible, like the backstage of a theater, where all your thoughts and beliefs hang out. This is where everything starts. Then there's the world you can see and touch, where all your ideas show up, like actors on stage. Let's use a simple example. Think of a seed. Inside that tiny thing is the plan for a whole plant. That's the invisible world, right there in your hand. That seed knows it's going to grow into something specific, even before it hits the soil. And just like that seed, our world is always changing, always growing. As we learn more, we understand that our invisible world, where our thoughts and ideas live, is endless. We're part of that endlessness. With the right know-how, we can throw our ideas into the mix and start to see them pop up in our lives. It's about taking control and actively shaping your life and future. Once you get this, really get it, you can ditch the old ways of seeing the world that hold you back. You're ready to step into a new reality that's all about power, growth, and well-being. It's all in your hands. You've got to guide your own growth, steer it in the direction you want. That's how you start changing your reality. And here's another wild idea from quantum physics. The universe is like a huge sea of energy. Everything, absolutely everything, is connected. It's all part of one big, complex web. This energy we're talking about has two forms. First, there's the particle form. This is stuff you can see and touch, like everything you bump into daily. Then there's the wave form. This isn't something you can grab or see. It's more like the senses and vibrations you feel, the sounds you hear, or the pictures in your mind. As humans, we're kind of special. We've got both these energies in us. We've got a solid, touchable body. Sure, but we also have this wave-like energy buzzing through and around us. Most people think of themselves as just their body, where they start an end. But that's a narrow view. This idea leads us to think in terms of me against everything else. We end up seeing the world as separate from us, unless it directly benefits us. What's really happening is that our bodies and minds set up our understanding of time and space. We think we move through time, past, present, future, like walking down a street. But here's the twist. Quantum physics suggests we're not just walking a straight line through life. Instead, with every choice we make, we pick one path from countless possibilities. And every choice we make opens up a whole new set of future paths. So every moment, we're not just following the path, we're actively creating it. Now let's talk more about how your brain actually works. It's like your personal control center, processing everything you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. And here's the interesting part. Your brain never actually touches any of these things. It's all about signals, like receiving texts on your phone. The brain translates these signals into what you see and feel. Imagine your life as a loop. You take in the world through your senses. Your brain does its magic with some serious electrical and chemical reactions. And voila, you experience feelings and emotions. But remember, all this happens inside your brain. And the outside world? It's more inside your head than you think. Here's where it gets wild. The world you think you're living in is actually a world your brain builds for you. Every bit of it, what you see, what you taste, the ground you walk on, is a part of you, created by your brain. Even the body you feel like you're in is just another part of this big, brain-made illusion. So what does all this mean? It means the world mirrors what's inside you. It's not just out there, it's shaped by your inner thoughts and feelings. But here's the real deal. You are more than your brain. Your brain is just the tool. You are the one running the show, the consciousness behind the curtain. You can rewire your brain, shape how it interprets everything. If you're stuck on autopilot, it's time to grab the controls and give your brain new, better ways to work. This is how you change your life, by changing the way your brain talks to you. You're in charge of creating your reality, and it's your job to make it a great one. No one else can help you with that. When you unlock the real power of your mind, you get everything. Motivation, healing, personal and spiritual growth, you name it. And since we already mentioned that your brain is a tool, you must remember that it is not the boss of you. Use it right, and it can do incredible things, like bring to life every dream you've ever had. It might sound a bit complex, but it's all backed by real science. Remember, nobody sees the world exactly like you because you're the one creating your reality inside your head. Once you understand this, you realize you can actually tweak your brain to change what you consider real. You must build new connections in your brain, kind of like rewiring an old house to handle modern electricity. To give you a clearer picture, let's lay out a couple of ways to do this. First, you must shake things up a bit. Did you know we have around 60,000 thoughts a day? And here's the interesting part, 95% of them are repeats from yesterday. It's like having your music playlist stuck on repeat. To change up the tune, you need to try new things. This stretches your brain, boosts its flexibility, and sparks new connections. Do this enough, and your brain starts wiring up some strong new circuits, ready to bring new scenes to your life's movie. Second, dream big and often. When you visualize or daydream, your brain lights up. It doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's in your head. So dreaming can actually transform your reality. Think of it as giving your brain a new script to play out. And this is where we remind you once more. The world outside is like a big reflection of what's going on in your head. You can dream up a new reality just by picturing it really vividly in your mind. By imagining and really feeling it, you start changing how your brain works. This tweaks the signals in your brain cells, sort of like rewiring your mental setup. Now think about the stories you tell yourself about your life. If you keep telling yourself the best versions of those stories, you'll start to believe them more and more. This reshapes the way your brain thinks on autopilot, setting up new ways of thinking that send out new vibrations to the world around you. The world, like a big cosmic mirror, reflects your beliefs right back at you, shaping your reality based on what you expect from it. So better beliefs mean you're setting yourself up for achieving your dreams. And here's the trick: make your brain believe that the amazing stuff you want is already happening. But how do you do that? By feeling those good vibrations as if your dreams have come true. Or remember a time you felt amazing, or even think about someone who already has what you want, and imagine how good they must feel. With practice, your brain starts to take this new, positive setup as the real deal and works to make it happen. There's plenty of science behind this. Studies show that when you change your mindset deliberately, your brain structure changes too. You can actually see these changes on scans. So by shifting your thoughts and rewiring your brain, you're not just a passenger on this journey of life. You're the one calling the shots. You get to choose the scenes, set the mood, and create a life that's nothing short of a blockbuster movie. Remember, every single moment is a chance to rewrite the script of your life. If you're stuck in a dead-end job or feeling lost in a relationship, then it's certainly time for you to pick a different reality. You have the power to change your focus, your beliefs, and ultimately, your entire life. So what are you waiting for? Don't let this video be the end of the story.